What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Warzone 2 leak video, and today we got more leaks. I mean, wow, dude, who would have thought that here we are, just about a month out from the release of Modern Warfare 2 and about a month and a half away from the release of Warzone 2, that we are still going to have leaks. I mean, I honestly kind of thought that after Call of Duty Next, all leaks were going to be dried up because we were going to get all the information regarding DMZ and Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer and the campaign and stuff. But honestly, after watching the Call of Duty Next event, there wasn't honestly that much shown. I mean, it was like a 4-hour stream, but the amount of time they actually spent talking about Modern Warfare 2 or Warzone 2, they didn't cover a whole lot. Plus, there's a lot of details and stuff in there, the nitty gritty that we still want to hear more about. Of course, like they talked about with like Warzone 2 and DMZ and stuff, they didn't really dive into it all that much. They kind of just like, hey, Al Mazrah, new map. And here's the release date. That was pretty much it. So they said they're going to be talking about it more, later. So I'm assuming sometime here in the upcoming month of October. Of course, they have to do it probably before Modern Warfare 2 comes out. Also probably before we get the campaign early access. So my guess is it's going to happen within the first 2.5 weeks of October is when we're going to get an update, finally probably a blog post, a trailer, more so. More stuff about Warzone 2 and stuff. So anyways, here we go. Let's talk about this leak. So we have a leak here. This is coming from Metaphor over on Twitter. So he is a Warzone player, but he's also kind of a leaker too. I guess people send him leaks and stuff. He's kind of big in the Warzone community. But he put out this kind of cryptic tweet. So I'll show you guys this here. He just says Warzone 2 update, and then he posts a ton of emojis here. So it's got like a robot emoji, and then a map, and then an X. And then he's got another robot, and then a castle, and then a check mark, and then a box, and then plus, and then like a pill. And then he's got a gift, and I can't even tell what that is. A scroll, and then an X. So people are guessing what this is, but he actually, basically confirmed what this is. So here we have Twitter user say, let me see here. So the first one he says is that this, with regards to with Warzone 2, it says that this is no AI on the map. The second one, it's referring to with the check mark, AI is still in strongholds. And then he says with the box, he says loadout and perks. And then the final one here, he says old looting, no menu when looting. And then he responds with a little bell here. So basically like ding, ding, ding. Yes, you got it correct. So yeah, there we go. I mean, that is the leak that he's posting here. I mean, they already cracked the code. It wasn't, something, it's not like meant to keep us guessing. Obviously he wants us to have this information, so we didn't make it too hard. But yeah, I mean, kind of interesting. So first off, let's talk about the first one. No AI on the map. Wow, that's going to be interesting. So this is basically all because of some of the changes and some of the criticism they received after Call of Duty Next is some of these Warzone 2 changes that are actually going to be taking place. Because the community has been very vocal about Modern Warfare 2 and about Warzone 2. And, I mean, for some things, rightfully so, about stuff like movement and also about like the red dot not showing up on the minimap. But basically, like seeing Infinity Ward's response to the community's reaction to all this stuff, like Infinity Ward's response has basically just been like, yeah, we hear you, but we just don't care. Like, yeah, we know what you guys want, but we don't care. That's not what we want. And of course, what we want is most important. It doesn't matter what our fans want or the millions of players want. They've got their own reasons. They say that it's, their changes or whatever, it's all there to protect the casual players and stuff. But honestly, dude, I don't believe any of that for a second. I am nowhere near the player I used to be. Now I work a full-time job and I'm doing a million other things with my life. And so the amount of time I actually do get to sit down and play video games, I'm not sweating like I was when I was 19, 18. I can't do that anymore. But even for me, I still try, but not to the same extent. But even I hop into a game and I get shit on. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. And, it's not a fun experience. That's why I also have to limit myself, too, because then I'll get too frustrated if I start playing more than just a couple games. I can only play a couple games at a time, and then I just go, all right, hey, it's okay. Relax, take a break, and go do something else with your time. Go do something that, one of your other responsibilities you got going on in your life. So, I mean, that's me. I'm pretty casual nowadays. But, yeah, I mean, it's not appealing to me at all with these recent changes. But anyways, point of that whole being is that Infinity Ward is saying all this stuff is there to protect the casual players. But then, according to these leaks, they're actually making changes based on community feedback. So this is potentially also could be coming from Raven. Raven might be the ones making these changes, not necessarily Infinity Ward. Raven has been pretty much the lead developer on Warzone for a while, although we've heard leaks and stuff saying that for Warzone 2, Infinity Ward's kind of started to take back over the reins and started to kind of, keep up with Warzone 2, whereas Raven's kind of been given full reign over Warzone 1. So I don't know, it'd be interesting to hear more about that dynamic. But yeah, I mean, for the first one here, we say it has no AI on the map. Okay, I mean, that was kind of a big one that people were talking about in the community. I don't think it was honestly that bad. I mean, we had these leaks forever ago saying that there's going to be AI on the map and stuff. But from my understanding is that it was only going to be in the strongholds. But it sounds like AI is only going to be in the strongholds. So, I mean, it makes sense. I think, yeah, having AI outside of the strongholds kind of sucks. Because if it's designated to a specific area of the map, it makes sense. It's like a high-risk, high-reward situation where you're going to have to go in there, you're going to have to use up a bunch of your ammunition, equipment, whatever else. You could potentially die, I guess, if you're bad enough to get killed by the AI or whatever. But you're going to be vulnerable while you're doing this, and you could easily get third-partied, and and somebody could come up as soon as you clear up all the AIs. They could just come in, boom, smoke you, and then just take all the loot and take all the stuff there. So I don't know. I think it's still a good idea, but having AIs outside of that, just random areas of the map, I don't like that. But it sounds like, hey, they're completely changing that, so that won't be the case. And then they say loadout and perks. So I don't necessarily know what he means by that, loadout and perks. So like loadout as in, you can still get your loadout box or what? Because loadout, I mean, it could mean like a million different things here. I don't really know. I mean, I would assume he's talking about the community's reaction to this as like, hey, we don't have loadout boxes anymore, but instead, you actually have to go around and loot around the map and stuff like that. But we also had a leak saying that the loadout boxes are still going to be present, but they're only going to be in, say, strongholds. Is that it's part of that high-risk, high-reward thing, so you have to go there and do that. So, yeah, a loadout and perks are still going to be in the game. Okay, makes sense. And then the last thing is old looting. It says no menu when looting, ? So, yeah, I mean, old looting, okay, makes sense. I think that's probably the best. I think in games like PUBG, and also even to an extent with Blackout, yeah, having to actually open up your inventory and equip things on your gun and change things out, it definitely does slow down the gameplay, whereas I do kind of like that about Warzone, is you literally just pick stuff up, and you're never worried about what you have in your inventory. Everything's just right there on your screen, and it's just, it feels more like a multiplayer match of Call of Duty, where you're not worried about what your character is carrying, because you can just access everything all at once. You're not adjusting your gun in-game, but of course that's what happens when you loot. So, I don't know, I mean, other than, like, how would you get around that, though? Is it just like you automatically put all the attachments and anything you loot onto your gun? I'm not exactly sure what they're going to be doing there. That's kind of interesting. But they also did change that with Blackout. Blackout had a horrendous looting menu when the game first came out, and they eventually changed that real quick because it was really bad. You had to just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll before they eventually changed it so you could actually open up the entire bag or looting menu all at once and then select everything you wanted from there. So I think, it was a decent change there, but still, I don't know. I mean, I kind of like both systems. It seems like Warzone 2 is kind of taking a lot of elements from Blackout, and it's kind of leaning more towards Blackout than it is like classic Warzone. So I don't know, it'd be interesting. But those are the leaks that we have here for this. So, I mean, sounds like Infinity Ward, Raven, whoever, they are actively listening to the community and some of the criticism for it. I don't know, it'll be interesting. I'm kind of curious to see here. It's gonna be interesting. It'll be, like I said, I keep kind of repeating myself here, but it really will. It'll be interesting to see when we're going to be getting more of this information, what they're going to say about this, if they, come out and say, oh, we decided against this, if they're like, hey, we listen to the community, we are going to make changes. And I don't doubt that, if some of these changes, like the game launched like this in this state, and the community was very unhappy with it, that, I'm sure that they would revert these changes just like that, with like the snap of a finger. They would do it instantly. Because, of course, Warzone is their bread and butter. That's where their moneymaker really is. And so, they basically do whatever they can to appease the fans when it comes to Warzone. Whereas it seems like Modern Warfare multiplayer, Infinity Ward just does not care and just does whatever they want. They don't care what the fans think for Modern Warfare multiplayer. They only care about what they want for it. Whereas Warzone, they have to care about what the fans want. Most of the fans are going to go play a different game. And of course, Activision doesn't want that. Activision wants their 100 million plus players playing it like they used to with Warzone 1. So, I don't know, it'd be interesting Reverting, what do you guys think about this? What is your guys' take on this? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think about Warzone 2 and all those changes and stuff that they made, and all the stuff they announced at Call of Duty Next? I mean, the map seems okay. The map seems pretty good. We have a gameplay here of it in the background of ground war and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be kind of curious. I think I can't really judge, like I haven't played the map yet, so I can't really, issue any criticism or judgment onto it until I've actually played it. So all these changes and stuff, it just makes me go, I wonder if that's going to be a good change. I wonder how that's going to play. But until we actually get our full hands on the game and actually get to try it out, that's all we can do is kind of just speculate how it's going to affect gameplay. But yep, November 16th can't come fast enough. It'll be a really fun day, and I can't wait. So Warzone 2 coming out real soon. I'm sure we're going to be getting more information about it here in the next couple weeks. I mean, we have to, right? Unless they want to wait until after Modern Warfare 2 comes out to talk more about it, which I could also see them doing because they are terrible when it comes to marketing. So that's pretty much it, guys. What do you guys take about this? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.